already recording. Great. Okay, let me check. We're live on YouTube. I don't know if we're live on Twitch. Where's Twitch? Twitch. Let me check if we're live on Twitch. Let me just switch to this. That's gonna be more flashy. Wait, I should get rid of this. That was just for the thumbnail on YouTube. There we go. Let me just, please don't open there. Okay, great. There we go. And I can close that as well. Great. Yeah, we're live here as well. Cool. So, for the YouTube video, now it's day 3. What are we going to be doing today? I should either clean up the whole animation or make the background for it. I don't want to do cleanup, so we're going to start with the backgrounds. Let me show you what the plan is for this. Let me just look that up. Like Cuphead, flying levels. I love that there's just so many compilations of stuff. This is sort of my idea, okay? This is what's gonna be happening. The character is basically gonna be flying in pretty much like the boss is more like than Cuphead. It's gonna be like sort of static inside of the screen. And then what we're gonna be doing is moving the background around it, okay? Basically, we need to have some layers for that. And I want it to be very Japanese inspired. So we're gonna start like gathering some references. Let me open up PureRev first. Let me get here, open recent. This one, cool. Let's have that open. Cuphead. Let's look for Japanese architecture. Cool. And if I do this, should be able to see that. Cool. Okay. Now I'm gonna start gathering some cool references I find. It's like the church here is towers, I don't know. Let me see if this image works. Yep, it works. Towers, arches. Pretty much arches is all I want. Copy. Paste. Copy image. I think we also should have some trees, like Japanese skyline. Let me see what we find on this. Ancient. Let's look for that. No, this is a car. Old Japanese skyline. Yeah, it's giving me a car, Nissan Skyline. That's not what I want. Japan comics. It's not comets. Kites. Yeah, we should have some kites. Copy image. Paste. Copy image. Paste. That was very tiny. How do I? Yeah, it's just gonna be that tiny. Some koi fish. Kites as well. Japan trees. Some cherry blossoms as well. There we go. Oh, that looks very nice. Okay, since I want to be a looping animation, I need to be careful with how, like, I handle my layers here. Because I don't want to be 5-hour loop, you know? So the main thing for that is gonna be the mountains on the back. Let's see. Mountains. This looks fancy. Here you're gonna have that one big, so that you see it. And yeah, once again, this is sort of what I plan to do. Very Cuphead-inspired. Let me see if there's... Okay, this one's pins. That's interesting. This one has a ton of things that move very fast. Okay, let me see first how fast this guy should be moving. Where's my animation? Here. Play. We can make it so that it moves very quickly. Okay, if we want to have a lot of movement, like this one has, it's just gonna make it look like this guy is going super fast. Okay. Let's check if this is the same battle. Is this another one? This was with ocean. I don't want to have ocean. Too much work. I literally want the background to be static and to be layered. And okay, let me see. Let's check if we find this part here. On the next one, no, it doesn't have it. Okay, it has like 2 different variations here on the background, like one that has this 3 things there, and one that has this other thing. Oh, maybe 3 variations. Yeah, probably 3 variations or 4. I don't know how many layers this has. But yeah, we basically don't want to show the floor, or if we show the floor, we have to make things like move with it. Here, I want this. I want foreground. That's what interests me more. Okay, let me look for... We're gonna have mountains or a city on the background. City looks cool, but city's a ton of work. Like this one. This one's interesting. It has some very simple mountains that at some point are just gonna loop. It's probably a seamless texture that loops. I don't know how complex these textures are or how long. But I think I want something like that on the background. Let me just look at... Oh, Japanese city. Okay, let's copy this one. Copy image. Where's my pure ref thing? Pure ref. There. It's gonna be a ton of wood stuff. Like this. Every single image has like the same city. I feel this should be an important city. And it's taken from like the exact same place. Which I found real funny. Okay, copy image. I want to see what they do with perspective on Cuphead. That's my biggest curiosity right now. I think it shows with the doctor's thing. Yeah, like the perspective is static. It's basically a 2-point perspective, very simple. Or it might even be isometric, I'm not sure. But yeah, we're not gonna go crazy with perspective. Yep, okay. I started sketching out some stuff. So, my plan is this is gonna be the dragon. Let's say this is gonna be my screen, okay? This guy is basically gonna be looping and animating, and some stuff's gonna be scrolling this way. That's the whole idea. How much complex I want it to be, I don't know. Let me look for... I want one more variation on trees. Where's my Brave browser? Here we go. Japan tall trees. Okay. I can work with some of this. Copy image. I didn't mean to copy it here. Where's my pref? There we go. There. This looks very Japanese for some reason. Yeah, basically I think if we have those three, maybe just this tree variations, I feel like this one might be, well, I'm thinking about stuff for the foreground. Let me look for Japanese decorations. Like outdoors. Hey Leo, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. How's the cooking going? Ooh, this is cool. This is really, really cool. We definitely want to have something like this. This as well. Looks very cool. Japanese. Where's this copy image? Paste it all the way over here. That's more complex than I'd like to have to draw. The arches. Like, I want stuff that screams Japan, but it's not like, oh my god, this guy is doing cultural appropriation stuff. It's like, I want to try to avoid as many problems on the internet as I can. Outdoors, tall. Let's look for tall. Yeah, the slams sort of things I think are what mostly we're gonna find. The kites I already have. Lanterns, maybe? I don't know. We have to try to keep it simple as well. We're doing these over 1 week. We don't have to make crazy art, you know? Let me switch that here. Switch this to B. Window. Mode. Transparent over model release selection. Always on top. Okay, now this is going to be always on top. Let me shrink it a bit. Actually, frick. Let me do... No, it's still moving that way. That's fine, it's fine. What? Oh, it's appearing on the start screen. I was like, why is it appearing there? I have to move from... not that one. From OBS here. Yeah, that works. I can sort of see most of the things I want to see. So let's start with what's going to be on the foreground, which is basically this arches. I want to start looking at this one. So what are we going to have? Plan. We're going to have 4 foreground elements. 4 foreground elements. 1 mountain. Three buildings. And how do we make, like, how do we separate the thing from the floor is my question right now. And that's what Cuphead's here for. We show a lot of trees. That's how. A lot of trees and some hills on the midground and both midgrounds, basically. Cool. Okay, so, two midgrounds. Let's say that. That's a plan. Now, let me just look up. There should be a tutorial on how to make Photoshop seamless texture handmade. Let me just... Oh, I can put the pure thing here. Yeah, I don't use the space. That's great. Yeah, that works for me. Okay, base shape, Unity 3D, check texture, Photoshop, adjust. Seamless, applying canvas, preparation, reference, color, okay.
Great. I searched for several references often made a move. The past texture placement on the edges. It's time to make the edges tileable, or to the edges one can pick out other and select offset. Enter your pixel values for the offset and press OK. Maybe you don't see the result immediately, but your edges moved to the middle. I will show you this by adding these helping lines. Now I can easily adjust the color and the shape of the pattern for the edges.
Okay, you're basically moving the shape. What it's doing is basically moving the shape after effect. That's interesting. Moving the shape after effect so that you sort of fix the looping part and make it look great. Okay, yeah, that's not that hard. Let me look at my image size. 1620, 2880. Like, it's kind of long, it's not that long. Let me change image size to be, where did it go? My 1080. Ah, frick, I didn't mean to do that. Actually, yeah, let's do that, and let's just enlarge it like this. Yeah, I think twice as long should work. Okay, let's do image size. I almost got it right on the spot. I failed by 24 pixels, which is, if I say so myself, quite impressive. Wait, where did my camera go? What the frick did I do? Where's my camera? Why did I not see myself? Oh, because I moved myself? Is that what happened? Wait, what the frick, dude? Hello? Did my camera overheat or something? Whoa. I was just not detecting me properly. They're gonna save this card. I was fine. Dude, where are you not, like, picking me up? What's going on with my camera? Filters. What if I remove the filter? What? It's not recognizing the camera. There we go. Save. It switched the scene for some reason. I don't know. Well, let's just leave it there. I don't know what happened. But yeah, as I was saying, I almost nailed the thing, dude. The movement of that. Okay, let me look at the reference of the mountains. both here and on Cuphead. This is gonna be mountain sketch. Here we go. And it's gonna be like this, that, this, that, this. It's gonna go down and it's gonna try to go to the same layer. We're gonna have 2 layers of mountains. How does that sound? Because I think mountains are easy to do. And they're gonna make everything look kind of cool. Okay, nice. So now, if I do this, let me just fill this whole thing. Cool. Okay, now if I do this, control, it's not closed. Where is it not closed? It's not closed here. Cool. We do control, we do this, control R. Oh, I can make this smaller. I can make this bigger. Did I enlarge it enough? Yes. Do this, do that. We can work on the silhouette, making it a bit more interesting. This is gonna be mountains 1. I think this guy is not gonna move. I think this guy is gonna be a very static thing. Like, it's gonna be so far away that it's not gonna move. So let's do that. Let's do this one. Same problem as before. It's not a closed shape. Still not closed. And it's not closed here. Okay, cool. Enlarge it. Fill it. Okay, we do that. And then we do... How do I do this? I do this. Let me look up the tutorial again. It was like filter, other, and something else, right? Filter, other, offset. There we go. And the horizontal is going to be half the thing, which is going to be... Actually, if I do... Well, I could do whatever I want. But if I do... Yeah, if I do that, I have to first, like, define the silhouette right now. So we're going to add some detail. And actually, I probably should do that at the end. Like, I should start painting already the colors of this, and then move the whole thing. So we're gonna start with that. I should make a little color script. What color do I want my mountains to be? Let's do this. Give it some more interesting edges to this whole mountain thing. That works. Then we the color. We're gonna do F6 to bring up the color wheel. Let's do... What color is it like? What color do I want my creature to be? I think it should be pink, and pink goes well with green. To some extent. Let me look. Color wheel. Pink goes well with... Pink's a type of red, yeah, and I basically need green. Okay, so we can do greens here. We're gonna do a very dark bluish green. That's my main color. Like that. On top of this, I'm just gonna use... What brush do I use? I like this brush. Well, we're gonna do more flat first. Where's my brush thing? Gonna start with this one. It's not soft. What the frick? That's not what I want. Do I want this? No, it's too hard. Why is it hard? I don't want you to be hard, dude. Oh, it's because I'm on the pencil. I'm stupid. That's what I want. Okay, cool. Good that I realized what is happening. Here, let me switch to this and that. Let's have this be a yellowish rim. Let's give some volume to this whole thing. Volume, 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 volume. It's gonna be like that. This is gonna be my highlight. I'm gonna switch the blending mode to soft light. Make this a clearer color, more saturated. Towards that. And let's do now normal. Grab this color. Why is my... Hello? Why does my preview not match what I see here? Because I'm on a different... Did I... I'm stressing out. Not gonna lie. Okay, like if I switch this to soft light, it's gonna look cool. Nice. What I should do is actually do this, and just paint with black and white inside of a mask. Like this. And paint, yeah. We're gonna suggest to form like this. I should have my eraser as well with some sort of texture. Like not texture, like don't be hard. Pretty much. Let's have this. There. My playback's so far behind. This YouTube thing. Okay, let's say all of this is gonna be in the light. All of this is gonna be in the light. It's gonna go like here, and then it's gonna be in the light. And here. Same deal, like all of this is gonna be in the light. It's giving a ton of depth already. Cool. That's probably going to be out of focus, so we're not going to care much about that. Let's do this color, but it's going to be darker, more towards the blue. I'm going to do this. Same deal, we're going to do this. We're going to invert it. And we're going to paint my shadows here. My hardest shadows. It's going to be like this. Same idea. Suggest a ton of form. Like here. Suggest more form there. The color is awful, I know, but don't worry, we're gonna change. So like works well as well. Something like this, something like that. Let's make it smaller. Something like that. That doesn't look half bad. Let's just clean up the whole shapes of this thing. Let's make this have more interesting volumes. Maybe something like goes like there. 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 What if I lower the opacity of this thing? Might look even better there. Shouldn't be much contrast this far away. Let's do this. There's that. This. Hey, Safik, welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Welcome back. Thank you. Trying to keep them simple, but looks somewhat cool. So I'm really happy you recognize they were mountains. Let's see. I think I just want to keep them with this 2 tones. The next thing I want to do is have them loop. So I hope this works. I don't know if it's going to work with multiple layers, but if I do this, do filter, no, it's not going to work with multiple layers. Okay, what I'm going to do is this, that. Group this, have this as a backup, do select, no, do filter. Do offset. Offset, where's offset? Offset, other offset. There we go. I do 1920. That's gonna move, and now I'm gonna have this horrible sim. Yeah, it's for this. The mountains are for this. I'm gonna have the loop going on like this, and the mountains are gonna be moving like it's gonna be a static camera, and the background is gonna be moving to generate the illusion of the dragon moving. So yeah, it's for the project of the week. Let me switch to color hard. Like right now, the cool part is that since I moved everything, the edges are gonna seamlessly transition. And once I fix this part in the middle, everything's gonna seamlessly transition, which is cool. Okay, if I do this, I should be able to do some clipping masks that work, right? Awesome. So yeah, let's just fix this part in the middle. This part looks weird. Overall looks weird. I think I can do a better job suggesting volume throughout this whole thing. Frick. Let's do this. This. So let's give it some more volume towards the front. There's some more flatness here. You're actually making background for it. Yeah. Like I want to make something that people say, oh, this guy knows his stuff. So that's what I'm trying. My idea is for it to be something like, where is it? Like this, like a Cuphead side-scrolling game. Way simpler than this, but yeah, that's sort of the inspiration, where the inspiration's coming from. Let's do this. I get a message. I think I get a message. Yeah, but it's just my mom sending her location. There we go. A bit bigger. Let's do this. This. Suggest a bit more form here. Suggest a bit more flatness here. That looks like a pyramid. I like that. Should look more organic. Let's have some darker areas here. I think that works. There's not room. There's some multiple. Okay. Since you asked for it, I'm gonna add some mountain goats. Let me just add some texture first to the whole thing. I basically just use one brush for texture. And it's just one. I'm on a different layer, yes. Lower opacity here. This. That. Lower the opacity a bit more. Add some texture here. Add some there, some there. Some there, there. There, and there. I'm gonna try not to add it towards the edges because it's not gonna loop very well there, so that'll be our little secret. Let's do it even darker a bit. Add some extra texture. Here, here, and here. Okay, cool. Hide something interesting like an exterior of sorts. Okay, a tiny white doll for the goats. Tiny white doll. Okay, what can I hide? Well, the theme of the week was nature. I watched. I have a list of movies I watched. I've already watched like 17 movies. I don't remember which ones I watched that week. Let me look on my Instagram. That week I watched. Here, my profile. My internet's pretty bad right now. It's not loading up. There we go. I watched The Croods, The Revenant, Open Season, My Octopus Teacher, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Castaway, Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. Oh, we can hide a Wilson. Wilson, where's Wilson? Wilson, Castaway. Images. We're gonna copy this one. Where's my reference board? I keep losing my reference board. Oh, it's on this screen. It was right in front of my eyes. I just missed it. Okay. We're gonna hide a Wilson. I think it's gonna be visible around here. So we're gonna make little Wilson. That's a very cool idea. Thank you very much. It's gonna be like white. This is with super low opacity. And that's with the wrong tool. Jesus, I'm struggling with the tools here. Let's do this. Let's see if that size works. It's too big. Like the actual size of the whole thing is going to be this big, so I need to make it way smaller. Like the size is probably going to be like this. I can do it a bit smaller still. It's going to be called Easter egg. Let's see, Wilson's like, it's gonna be so unrecognizable. It's a bit darker red. I think it's gonna look better if I add the spiky things. Pixel art, pretty much pixel art, yeah. Let's try. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna have a little dotted nose. And then I think, okay, I'm gonna need your opinion on this. Like at some point in the film, he has like this type of hair. Like with the hair, or do I leave it without the hair? Let's do this. Leave it with hair, cool. I like it with hair as well. It's gonna be a bit darker though. Let's do some highlights here. And then we want to integrate a bit more to them. To the whole piece. It's gonna be Wilson. Mr. Egg. Inside of this, we're gonna grab this. Just make this, no, this here. This here. Some blending mode. This one. Make it like that. And let's add a little shadow to him as well. Right here underneath. He's gonna have like a little shadow. That's cool. Yeah, Easter eggs are crazy. I also love them. This is a great idea. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna incorporate this into all my weekly projects. Just like hiding an Easter egg on the final project. That's so fun. Cool. We have to make sure that he appears though. On the whole final piece. So let's do this. Like that he's visible on the piece. Mountain A. Yeah, he's just lost in the mountain. Poor guy was left there and his owner just went back to his life and totally forgot. Well, he probably didn't forget about him, but left him to his own devices. Okay, let's do the next mountain. This one's gonna be closer, so it's gonna be a bit more. Where's my base? Color is gonna be same base color first. But then since it's closer, it's gonna be more saturated. And a bit darker. And probably a little greener. So this is gonna be the base color for that mountain here. So if I put this here, what's gonna be happening is this is gonna be moving like this. We need to make sure there's an opening for Wilson to be seen. Yeah, he's going to be able to be seen there. Probably we can double the chances of people spotting him by making this little hole bigger. The color I think could be maybe parallaxing as well. Absolutely. That's why we were doing this on layers. Parallax is one of the easiest animation tricks, and it just makes things look so much better and so much cooler. So there's definitely going to be some parallaxing going on. Okay, let's do that. This. Let me look at it in black and white. It can be darker. And if it's darker, I want it to be maybe a little less saturated. No, it's like that. The color, the saturation. How dark is it? No, it should be Oh no, a bot. I'm not sure from one of my friends that has some. What is it called? Like admin. I said admin. Mod powers on my channels here. Leo, are you here? Or are you not? Like, if you keep coming to the streams, I can probably eventually turn you into a mod if that interests you. Safik. I used to do that when I used to stream a while ago. I used to stream Minecraft stuff. I'm also a Minecraft speedrunner. I'm not that good, but I liked it. So yeah, people that just joined the streams eventually became mods of the channel. This is a tricky color balance here. That's why I'm doing this whole thing. The studies are helping with color and stuff. Minecraft Munchcraft because it's really Munchcraft. Never heard anyone call it that. But sounds like something you'd hear people on TikTok call Minecraft. Wait, I moved the wrong layer. Yeah, Wilson's gonna be able to get seen in two places now. Let's now get rid of this. And once again, we're gonna make the silhouette a bit more interesting. Like that. Well, the edge is probably gonna still change eventually when we join it with the next one. That. This. That. This and that. Wow, I'm so much slower with this thing. I'm already live for an hour and this is all I've done. I think you're right, I'm faster with animation than I am at doing backgrounds. Okay, that's the base color. All Disney vibes. Yeah, parallaxing is... The same thing happens with Cuphead. I think the whole way that Cuphead is done is to resemble that all Disney style. And parallax contributes to that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do... Whoa! I'm not sure if you caught that sound. With some fireworks going off. Let's do this, do that. Light is on this side. Let me change this color to be more yellow. This is not doing. Show me your fast can show me those 2 hours you have done good so far. Thank you. That's part of the plan of the 1 hour studies. Like, it's hard to do stuff when you're like watching the clock and it says, yeah, you've already been doing this for 15 minutes and you only did like the sketch. That's what's been helping with this. This color is not working at all for me. Why is that? Let me do this. Delete. Let's try this color and a blending mode that makes it look good. I think it's a base color. The base color is a weird color and it's mixing weird with the other colors. Like if I do normal. What if I does do opacity here? That might work, you know. Okay, let's switch to the soft brushes. And start again adding some interesting layering on the mountains. Let's do this. That. Maybe something like this. Again, give it some idea that is coming to the front. Like this. And like that. I think it looks good as a base. It's a thing that makes you sound out very fast, especially for... Besides art is the thing. Besides art is the thing that makes you stand very fast. Oh, I was reading that so wrong. Yeah, I get it. The problem, it's been hard for me, that whole zoning out thing, because since art became also my job, it started getting a bit weird at some points. The experience with art, not everything, depending on the type of job I took, but some jobs were like harder to for me to like get stuff done than others, versus just getting into art and being happy about it. Yeah, that's one of the downsides of having art become your job, I'd say. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Hey, Caleb, thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. And thank you for the compliments on my backgrounds. Yeah, I hope they're gonna look cool. I'm sure not have you worked for like a company or just freelance. Mostly freelance. I don't think I've worked for a company. Like, this industry, animation's a very freelance based industry. So yeah, I've done a ton of freelance. I've briefly worked for a company that does some stuff, like I was covering for someone that was on vacation, but and also sometimes I've done some teaching, like I've been called both on my high school and on my university to do some like substitute teacher stuff. But like, I don't think I've worked for a company besides on my internships, because I studied 2 careers, I did 2 majors, so I I did have to work for my internships on one company, and I didn't like it, and that's how I realized that my other major was not gonna be what I did for a living, pretty much. Cool, that's looking cool. I'm sure working for a company could be quite a bit awful. Getting overworked and underpaid for animation, which is extremely for. Yeah, like, sadly in Latin America, which is where I live and where I've been able to find jobs, the getting underpaid part is pretty much like a part of the deal. Like, it's very hard for you to get a job in which you're paid well here in Latin America. That's part of why I'm trying this, because I know that if I want to get paid well working here, I need to be occupying the positions of producers and stuff like that, which tend to come with a lot of nepotism around them. It's like you become friends with a producer and then you can become a producer and stuff like that. Like, it's very hard to become a producer on your own. But if I manage to make this whole YouTube thing work, social media thing work, I don't know. Like, I could do some cool stuff on my own, hire other people, pay them well. So, yeah, I wouldn't hire people if I wouldn't be able to pay them well. I think this color should be darker, more saturated. Whoa, what's saturation doing to that? Wow, that's crazy. Color is insane. I don't understand color sometimes. Let me try multiply. Make it far more saturated, far clearer, far bluer. Yeah, the multiply isn't working. Let's try this color, just make it a bit darker. Why does adding up saturation make it go gray? That doesn't make sense in my brain. Make it a bit more blue, make it a bit darker. Make it a bit transparent. Something like this, I think. What if you didn't make a pile? What would it be about? Like, do you have any ideas for the future? Hi, Sammy. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm streaming in English, so I'm gonna have to reply in English. You can type in Spanish if you want, but I'm gonna be replying in English. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, I have a. I can show you stuff. Okay. Let me look it up. I have a sort of, where's the thing? Documents, work, Ermine. Where's my one way out? FC, my dogs. Where's my dossier? Is it this one? Yeah, this is something I've never shown before, but you're gonna get exclusive here. This is something I presented to some government um organization here, basically for applying for funding to get a pilot done. So I had to do all of this art. It's not amazing. I had to do it over 1 week. So this was my main character. It was Death, and the idea of the pilot was, well, it's this series started evolving a lot. That the idea was for Death to eventually get tired of her job and try to look for a way of, like, the story takes place in a multiverse. Wait, where's the other thing? There's another thing. Yeah, here I have some more character stuff. No, it's not this one. It's where? Oh, it's here. Like, these were some background explorations, some character explorations and stuff. Turnarounds for the two main characters, which were gonna be Death and this little cat. Some expressions for both of them. Some poses. As you can see, these are kind of bad. I had to do this in a weekend and stuff, so it was hard. But yeah, the idea was much simpler. It was gonna be about Dead wanting to find a system of death that worked for every being in the multiverse, because like the idea was that there were universes in which death worked in a different way. Wait, what the frick am I doing? So Death wanted to retire, and to be able to retire, she had to sort of change the way like death worked throughout the multiverse in order for it to be just one single thing. And it started evolving because the whole thing with the funding required me to make it into a longer series. So it was gonna be like basically the same story, but it was gonna take over the length of 3 seasons, and it was eventually gonna get to that. Thank you, Sammy. She basically said that the death character was beautiful. Thank you. That one's the one I got to explore the most. But yeah, the poses were pretty bad. I didn't get to continue in the process for that, but it's fine. Let me just do this. And how's it going with your classes then? Yeah, it was gonna be episodic. Like, the idea was for it to be... No, it was gonna be serialized more than that. It depends. I try to make... I think it's harder to write episodic stuff. Basically because I like character arcs. And with episodic stuff, you don't really get that. It's like the characters have to remain the same for the whole series, pretty much. And I kind of don't like that. I see the entertainment part of it, but it's not my style of writing. So it's going to be a serialized story, but it was more like in the structure of a miniseries at first, and then a 3-season show. Like, I thought of it as a mixture of both things. Kind of like what Gravity Falls is. Like, it's episodic, and it's also serialized, so there's like some episodes that go more towards the whole arc of the seasons and stuff. And like not having to worry about that much, but having an arc that goes and gets solved throughout the whole length of the series. That was a plan. So yeah, it was a bit of a mixture of both, but I like more the serialized aspect of things, like having an arc, having something happen, and having a real solution to that. I can imagine it being simple at first, but then it just shifts more complex with, like, yeah. It always starts simple. I have an idea for another story. I think I haven't revealed anything of that online. That I started writing a while ago because at some point here in Ecuador we were having like power outages, So I had a ton of free time in which basically I could think. Like, I couldn't work because I didn't have power, and without power I can literally do anything more than like sketching. So for that one I just started sketching out stuff and writing. And that's where my idea of making a show sort of started. But the problem was that the show I was coming up with was way too complex for an indie like studio or person or whatever. So I just dropped it and started developing this other one, which supposedly was going to be somewhat easier to produce. But again, it became more complicated with the whole trying to get funding thing, which required me to make a 14, well, a minimal of a 12 pages script. I did a 16-page script, and that translates usually 1 page of script turns into 1 minute of animation. So it became long, and that was just for the pilot. And I liked the route it was going to, so part of what I'm doing is trying to get people to like me, like my stuff, trust in me, and eventually be able to make shows and stuff like that on here on the channel and stuff. What I'm meaning here is because I'm also streaming on YouTube, but yeah, over my social media pretty much. Let me group this, call this Mountain B. Mountain B. Have Mountain A, we have Mountain B. Trust me, nothing is completer in the animation style. True. The rating could be crazy, but it can still work. Yeah, and that's part of what I love about animation. Basically, you can tell any story in animation. You're obviously limited by budgets and stuff, but not in a way like live action would be limited by a budget. Like, you can literally do anything in animation. It's just a matter of how good you want it to look and how much you want to pay people to make it look as good as you want it to look. Pretty much that. Okay, we have two mountains. Mountain B, Mountain A. I think this one's a bit too saturated, but we can change that when I'm animating this on Premiere and After Effects. Okay, that was the not the great part. That was the hard part, I think, because the rest of things pretty much just need to be standalone stuff. And then I animate that in other program, that's it. Let me check. Great, I'm starting thesis and that's all what's you wrote in the black and stuff. Okay, let me tell you about the story. Give me 1 sec. Well, you can technically make a full empire yourself, but it would probably take a few years and wouldn't be as complex. Yeah, like, I actually was planning to release a pilot for my original show, like the Death one, on Halloween of this year, but then I realized it was way too much work, and I wasn't gonna be able to make that. And I wasn't getting the audience, so I started switching into these sorts of things, in which I'm gonna do a weekly project, and then see if everything works out or not. Okay, I'm gonna add some color variation, which this is lacking. Let me just do it on this other tool. Okay, about the other show I was writing. I don't know what it is, but I have some sort of fascination with death, I think. So it was gonna be a world in which, like, there were some sort of video game-like rules in which basically at some point something happened, and every single being from any species that lived in that world sort of got extinct, except for one. So, like, let's say there were humans. There's just one human. Now, like, every character was going to be sort of a humanoid animal and stuff. But the idea was that every single being from a certain species stopped existing, and except for one. And this one started, like, let's say there were 50 different members of that species. This person got, like, sort of life points amounting to the same number as the beings of that species that existed. So let's say there were 100, you got 100 lives. So if you wanted to die, you'd have to die 100 times. Okay, so that was sort of the basis of the story. and there was a bad guy, and the bad guy was gonna like, I have it noted down here. I don't remember it that much now. But like the bad guy had this thing in which if you went to him, you could go and he would grant you a wish or something like that. But to do that, you'd have to give him lives or something. So with that, he had become one of the most powerful things in the whole thing. And yeah, like eventually I started developing the ending, and I don't want to spoil the ending because the ending I think is pretty cool. But yeah, sort of that's the basis of the world, and it would have been sort of Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, in which the main character, which was a fox-inspired character, was gonna try to lead a group of different people with different skills into this guy to be granted a wish. But yeah, it was a bit more complex than that. Let me see. Will you continue? Blah, 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 blah. Also, yours is more doable than most of my ideas. Yeah, I get that. I like since I already sort of have the mindset of creating stuff and producing stuff. I try to keep my ideas somewhat realistic to what I would be able to do. So yeah, it's a bit of a skill you have to develop, but it's a pretty useful skill, I'd say. There's I really like your ideas. Thank you very much. It's been a bit of a. Oh, I know why this isn't working. It's going only to Wilson. Yeah, like I've been trying to get better with that. Like there's stuff that still I haven't figured out with my own stories. But this whole year-long project is a part of that. Also, I've been reading a lot about acting, about doing storyboards, about doing art in general, and I'm trying to apply that to my art as well. Mountain A, Mountain B, cool. Now we're gonna do some of the foreground elements. So, let's look up the references for that. I want to have one of these arches. And it's gonna be like, let me do this and that. Let's see, I haven't tried drawing with this and making masks with this tool, but maybe it works for the style I'm going for. And for the time I have to do this sort of thing. So if I do this, do that. Frick. And this. Nope. This, that. And then I do this. It's not that bad. And we fix this a bit. Make it have a clearer silhouette, better volume. This part's awful though. But again, we have a pretty good base in like little to no time. I'm gonna start using that tool even more, I think. Besides, you actually think on how to make it more simple work for animation because I did it for one of my ideas when the laser works. Yeah, like it's hard. Like the good thing about the university I went to is that you're taught all of these things. Like you're taught all of the processes. The final project you have to do is basically a short film. I don't know if you've checked out my YouTube yet, but it's up there. I just last Friday I uploaded my short film, which took me 1 year to make. That one's done in 3D, and for that one I have to do basically everything. And yeah, that's how it works. And it's a good thing for me that they teach you everything. But in general, for the industry, it's not like recommended for you to be taught everything. Like people tend to like more people that specialize in one single thing and are very good at one single thing, instead of people that are somewhat good at a lot of things. But for the type of stuff I like doing, the type of, how do I say it, like the way my brain works, let's say that, like I tend to get bored by doing the same and same over and over again. So in that sense, it works really well for me to be able to switch from a writing project to a character design project to an animation project to a background design project. There's a few processes I like more than others, but having the option to switch between them is really what I like the most about this industry and doing this type of thing on my own. Because if I were working on a specific studio, they probably just want me to do one single thing and that's it. Okay, we have that. It's gonna be arch. Let's do color. We're gonna grab this color, go to its complement, and use this color here. I took it a bit. I want it to be darker. I want it to be more saturated and a bit redder. I think that works. That's my base color. We do this. We go to this brush. And lower the opacity. Again, we have this color. We make it darker. We make it redder. No, it should be bluer, actually. We do this. Say how I managed to actually finish stuff. The amount of work in progress I have is insane. I mean, I also have a lot of unfinished work in progresses, but at least those I used to learn. Like if I'm not gonna finish something, at least I try to learn something in the process. Like not just make it, oh, I'm gonna draw something and that's it. Like, no, I'm gonna draw something and I'm gonna try something new and different and see if I can learn something in the process. That's something that's helped me, like, not feel bad about my unfinished products. And also, one thing that's helped me finish my stuff is posting it online. Like, if I have the pressure of wanting to post something online is like, okay, if I want to post it online, I have to finish it. Because I'm not going to post unfinished stuff to social media. Actually, it gets lower and people are better than me. Like, one thing I've learned and I hold, like, very close to my thoughts is that I don't have to compare myself to any other person. The only one I have to compare myself against is me from, like, a month ago, me from a year ago. And if I'm better now than I was a month, a year, 2 years ago, that means I'm doing well. Like, I think that's a very healthy mindset to be at, especially in this creative industry. Because otherwise, if you keep comparing yourself to others, it's just gonna become a mess eventually. Okay, let me switch this to that color. This is gonna be dark. Frick, I didn't mean to do that. Dark. Okay, let's do this color, very desaturated. See how this looks. We're gonna be playing with, it's too desaturated actually. We're gonna be playing with color theory here. Just do that and move it a bit towards which side? Which side makes it look greener? Less saturated. Yeah, that looks greener, but not the type of green I want. I want it darker. Yeah, that works. Let's do this. And that. Should be working more with masks, I think. Ah, frick. Oh, yeah, this is one color. Because that way, if I lose a color, I don't have to worry about that. Finding it, the color again. Let me try this. It's too hard. Oh yeah, it's on top, so I can just go crazy with this. Just golly, extras under skills. Yeah, I get it. Like, it is frustrating finding someone that's younger than you and probably better than you at some stuff. But again, as I say, if you keep the mindset of comparing just to yourself from the past, it helps a lot with those choice of fillings. Okay, let's do a lighter orangier color for highlights here. Let me look at that in black and white. Yeah, I want it to be a bit more like this, and therefore a bit more saturated. And a bit more towards this color, I think. Okay, then we can just erase this. If I put this under the dark, we should be fine. It's gonna be a very vibrant column here. Ah, frick, oh, I took this out. There we go. He's looking well. Thankfully, I didn't put anything I can just relax and enjoy in peace, just writing stuff for myself. Yeah, that also works. Like, it's also a matter of not pushing yourself to do stuff that causes you anxiety. Like, if you don't like posting your stuff online, it's totally fine. But again, if you ever do so, just bear that in mind. Like, you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else, but to yourself from the past. Because that's the only other person you need to be besting at anything, pretty much. Let's do this. We're gonna have this color be clear. And, okay, if I do something like this, might help with the idea of curvature. And then this is going to be darker, bluer. And it should be masked. Like this. Okay. I'll lower the opacity here. Actually, I think I should delete some stuff here. I want to make it more of a rim light. That way I can make it more exaggerated. Control Y, yeah, that works. For this other color. Thank you, I like vibrant colors. I've not done much experiment with colors. That's something I'm just starting to delve on with. But I found that I like vibrant colors. And I've been trying to work with them. Like that's been showing up more and more in my recent studies I'm doing on YouTube. And on TikTok. By the way, if you want to follow me on any of my other social media, I'm pretty sure I'm like with the same or a very similar handle everywhere. I want to make this darker, more saturated, more blue. And this one, I think it should be more saturated still. You see that in this? I should change the color of the sky as well. Let's do this. What color do I want in the sky? My TikTok should be Ermine Studios or Ermine.studios. One of both. I can look it up. If you don't find it, let me know. Thank you. I appreciate you wanting to follow. It's one of both. I'm not sure which one. I should add a highlight here as well. Like this. Hello? Why is it not registering? Oh, because I'm drawing on the freaking sky layer. I didn't switch to this one. I should do this. Yes, but now we're gonna do this with a bigger, less flowy brush. Like, yeah, I don't want to like spend way too long in detail and stuff. I just want to suggest volume, and that's fine by me. Okay, that works. It has a bit of a weird. Yeah, you found it. Awesome. Appreciate the follow. I was gonna change the sky. Yeah. Okay, I'm working with pink. I'm working with green. I can go with either of those for the sky. I want the dragon to be sort of pink, so I might go with a greeny blue sky. Something like this, and then we go clear, less saturated, even clearer to give it more contrast, a little bit greener. I think I like that sky. Sure, this one should look outside. Go ahead. Oh yeah, Diamond Head. That was one of the series I just started because I wasn't sure it was gonna work, and for some reason it started working. And then I was like, if I keep doing that content, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's the Ben 10 guy. We want more Ben 10 content," and I wasn't going to enjoy like becoming a it's this guy that does this one specific thing. Like, if I want to do that, I want it to be like projects and stuff that people know me about for. So yeah, that's why I dropped those. I have one that I haven't released. It's an accelerated one I did. But yeah, like I stopped posting them when I did that one. Getting confused with my own drawings here. I think that one works. Let's just have this. Put this like, what are they called? Arch. Let's see, was it Esther show? Yeah, like it was probably one of my favorite. It was probably my favorite show growing up. My parents didn't like me watching it though, so there was that. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Let me look at some clouds as well. Where's Brave? Here we go. Let's bring this here. Like for Japanese clouds. Same with Teen Titans. I never watched it whole, but yeah, I remember liking Teen Titans as well. I don't like Teen Titans Go though. I think it's a pretty big downgrade between both shows. I like this cloud. This ones are simpler. Let's do this. Yeah, you can on chat, but I won't repeat that. Like, I'm trying to keep it like PG-13 for myself. But yeah, you can say what you want. I don't think I have any sort of like, as long as you don't insult someone specific, it's fine. Children, sorry, it's fine. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some clouds that look like this. Let's switch to this. I'm gonna do like tree clouds. Let's do this. That. I should get rid of the arch. This, that. Something like this. Something, frick. Have you done wild mode yet? Yeah, I didn't do wild mode. Like, I can do it on stream someday. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna post more of those Ben 10 things for the same reason I told you. Like, I don't want to become the guy that does Ben 10 stuff and exclusively Ben 10 stuff. Where's my flow? Why is it soft? It shouldn't be soft. Let's do this. There. there. And now if I do this and I add a secondary color like a blue like this one, and I just add this shapes, then this, I'm pretty much copying one of these clouds, but that's how it starts. Like, first I need to understand how this works, and then I can try doing my own stuff. Like here, I'm gonna start modifying it a bit. Gotta do wild mode someday. I need to know that down. Okay, let's see what they do with this. They just keep it like that. Okay, cool. Why is this sound? Why is this song sounding here? I don't like this song. Let's do this. That. There. That looks like a cool cloud, I think. I was going to use TikTok to do anything other than watching mids and posting and edits. Anything other than watching mids and posting and edit every year are so out of boredom. I don't use TikTok, to be honest. I don't like that social media. I like being able to choose what I watch. And I don't like the fact that TikTok is like, oh, you like watching this? Okay, let me show you something completely different to what you watch. Or something I think you're gonna like, but you probably won't. So yeah, I don't like that fact about TikTok. I need this to be like clearer, I think. Ooh, I can do very white clouds. I think it should be bigger though. Yeah, I have Insta. It's Ermine Studios. That one I know for sure. Yeah, that's... I'm trying to post different stuff. Jesus Christ, someone's screaming. Some kids. I'm trying to upload different stuff to my Instagram than I do to my TikTok and YouTube shorts. That one's like gonna be the place in which I present this stuff, like the finished product. It's gonna be like, hey, here's the finished product. YouTube's gonna be like, here's how I did it. TikTok's most gonna be like, hey, I want you to go to every other social media I have. This is what I have there. That is the plan eventually with TikTok. I like this cloud. Okay, let's do other two. I'm maxed out. Appreciate the follows on all my social media, by the way. Okay, we have that. We have this. I need to make this a bit more clean on this like little swirls. Like the color of that cloud. Let's do another cloud. This one's gonna be a bit greener and a bit bigger. There's that. I think one of the important parts of this cloud is the flowy bits at the end. This one's gonna be going up like this. Like that. I want it to be more interesting down here. Like, I'm gonna get rid of this. Gonna make it small here. Another one here. Maybe a little bump here. I think that works. Your masculine is low-key cute. Thank you. He's an Ermine. Like, Ermine is a type of animal. Ermine is the name of my every social media. Because it's one of my favorite animals, and that was a name that wasn't taken, like, everywhere I could find. This is an Ermine. It's like a ferret, but it has this very cool property that when it turns into winter, its fur turns white to be able to, like, camouflage in the stone. And they look cute and all, but they're actually pretty impressive predators. Which I think is pretty cool. Okay, let's clean it up a bit. Let's do this. And also Liam is technically a shape-shifting animal. Like, it's weird. Like, there's this book thing, the book series called the subtle, no, it's the Golden Compass, the Subtle Knife, and one other one I can't remember right now, but it's like resumed as his dark materials. And there was this cool concept of like having a shape-shifting animal that's like your soul, and eventually they become one animal. Like when you're a kid, they change in between the species of animals, but when you become a grown-up, they get locked into one animal. So the mascot for my channel a while ago, when I was doing videos in Spanish pretty much, I created him to be a shape-shifting animal. So I created a couple of versions of him. That was way before I even got into any of my character design classes. So the designs were pretty bad. They were so bad, eventually I redesigned him as an eagle. I had already made him as an eagle, but I made a second design of him as an eagle, and it looked way better in my opinion. Wait, I'm missing some white here. So yeah, he's basically that, a shape-shifting animal. And maybe his final form was that of the Ermine. I don't know, but maybe at some point I just want to design him as something else. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, I like how he ended up looking. That was a bit of a tough design to make. I have some sketches that look horrible. Num num. Glad looking at all. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's clashing with the rest of the style though, because this is very graphic. I might have to give it some idea of texture volume for it to look more integrated with the rest. But I agree that it'll look a lot like candy and stuff. Maybe like cotton candy. Or like the swirls look very... It's not a popsicle, it's something that's like a popsicle, but it's not a popsicle. And it's more like flat instead of a sphere. Like a cylinder. Lollipop? No, it's not lollipop. I don't know. I don't know the name of it right now. Let's do this. This. No, this one's gonna work. Might as well try it. I don't like this one's being the same size. I'm gonna make this one bigger. Yeah, I think that works better. I still like the original one better than mine. I also think this colors... Something happened to the color. I think I changed it. Or maybe it's just because the other color changed, like the background from this one. This one kind of reminds me of an elephant. Some shading. Yeah, I'm gonna add some shading to it. I want to do one more cloud, and then I'm gonna add shading to all of them. Oh, wait. That's not smart. I didn't separate them. Let me do this. Let me do that. And that. No, that's stupid. I have to do first the shading, then do that. Yeah, I have to leave it like this. Yeah, I'm gonna do, like... I already made a mistake. Let's just keep going with that. Okay, one other... cloud. Where is it? Let's do this big. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 shapes. Okay, this one's gonna be like this. 2. This one's gonna be huge. And I'm gonna have to move this. I didn't mean to press that button. 3, 4. And then the swirly bits here. And the swirly bits here. There. Should go more towards the point. Rounder, rounder. Here. It's gonna be like huge. One. Want to do this. And then this. 1, 2. Gonna do this. Go a bit more to a point. This. And that. I think we have all the clouds I've got to use. Now let's add the shading. Like this color. It's gonna be darker, more saturated, and more towards blue. This one right here. I'm not that big of a fan of this color, but we are gonna change that in a minute. That's too hard. There. Actually, looking at outside like this, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, let me just do... I want to change the color of that one. So if I do this and that, all the clouds are going to have the same base color. Great. What about you? We're going to see. Do this or this. Do that. Okay, let's try a different type of volume here. More sort of realistic type of volume. This is gonna go like this, this is gonna go like that, this is gonna go like this. I like the left one better. Like more following. I should turn on because I look like something very I tell you to go grab a bite, but it's probably very late there where you are. So I'm not sure how healthy eating this late at night is for your metabolism. But yeah, you're starting to make me feel angry, not angry, hungry as well. at my own drawings. Let's do that. Some shading to this one. That one. This one. That one. That one and that one. And finally I want to add, well actually I want to add more volume to this part because it's pretty big. Maybe here as well. As well as here. This one doesn't really make sense, so we're going to do it underneath. Cool. I don't think this one's worked that well, so I'm going to remove them. Add some here. And I want to add... Just kidding, that's straight. I'm sorry, I know why I'm in my room for a sec. Okay, completely understandable. But yeah, like chewing on paper. I've never tried it. Not sure if I'd recommend it. I mean, as long as you don't swallow, you might be fine. Let me try adding some texture that follows a bit the shapes. I'm just gonna lower the opacity in a second. Make it darker, more saturated, and lower the opacity again. Way more the opacity. Yeah, it's a slight difference, I think, but it works well. Let me do this to separate the clouds. Control J, Control J, Control J. Finally, Control J. Should give me my tree clouds in separate layers. It's gonna be cloud A, cloud B, and cloud C. I think I can delete this. Have three clouds, have the two mountains, have the arch. Okay, let's do two more structures and I think I'm done with this. When kills there's a baby and parents were painting the bedroom, some other rooms walls. I went in and started eating dead white panel. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Like, did they take you to the hospital or anything? Like, did it cause any sort of reaction to you? I want to see Japanese kites. Like they're not on the sites I imagine this one is. This one's sort of cool. Copy image. I don't remember if it took you or not. That's so interesting. That's not something I would have imagined. Let's do this. Switch to this other brush. There we go. Let's switch to black frick. Didn't mean to do that. We're at 100%. Okay, we're gonna do something similar to this kite, but not quite. Okay, let me do something with this. Control L. Looks horrible. Let me see if I can fix it. Actually, let's just get rid of it and draw it by hand. Like this. This and this. Okay, that is a pole. This is gonna be kite number 1, which is basically gonna be a string going here. The fish opening its mouth. Let me get rid of the clouds. Go like this. Let's paint in the silhouette. Switch to hard brush here. I should get rid of the mountains as well to get a cool, clear silhouette. There. Here, there we go. That's gonna be fish A. I can see steam on your taskbar. So what games do you like playing usually? Okay. Right now, I've been playing a lot of Peak. I'm not sure if you've heard of that game. It's pretty popular, like on TikTok and social media in general. My favorite game is Minecraft. This one right here, the second logo is a Minecraft launcher. That allows me to have basically multiple versions of Minecraft installed on different folders, so I can open it whenever I want. As I said, I'm a speedrunner. I don't do that much anymore, but I beaten the game in like less than 15 minutes, which was fairly recent, and I'm pretty happy about it. So Minecraft's my favorite game. I also I like Lego games. I have a bunch I bought but not yet played. I recently bought the Lego Harry Potter series because it was like with an 80% discount. I also have the 3 old Lego Batmans. I have old Marvel Lego games I haven't yet played. I like Cuphead a lot. I was trying to get S ranks on everything, which is basically play a very hard mode. And then what other ones do I like? Those are the ones that come to my head right now. What about you? What do you play? I feel like these are peak. Yeah, Lego games are amazing. One of my favorites is the Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. I have that on my wish list, but it's just never on discount. I try to buy games when they're like, I have a rule with a friend. If one of our games is on our wish list and it gets a discount over 75%, that's an instant buy. Otherwise, it's more like if we know we're gonna play it for a while with some other friends, that's when we buy games. But generally speaking, we just wishlist stuff. If it gets a big discount, we buy them. There we go. There we go. I have the street kites. Okay, I'll let you choose the color for 2 of them. So name 2 colors, please, and based on those ones, I'm gonna choose the 3rd one. Okay, let's do a very green because I'm going with this green tones. Frick, like this. So it's gonna be dark, desaturated, and going towards this, I think. I like fighting games where I come where like Tomb Raider and Bayonetta and do a second bow, and switches are fun to also play out. Oh, that's cool. Fighting games, that's interesting. I don't know, fighting games eventually get kind of repetitive to me, but I've played a few. Okay, we're gonna have one fish be orange. That's awesome. Let me switch to soft round. There we go. This is gonna be a pole. We're gonna have highlights, greener, yellower. Let's do this. Like that. Bring back the mountains. Bring down the opacity of this a bit. Okay, let's do the first one be orange. I'm a bit lazy right now, so I'm just gonna make them mainly orange and then add the white. I'm gonna make the topmost fish orange. So it's the bigger one. What? Okay, there we go. That's not an orange. Let me just switch this back like this. A bit more saturated. Orange. Okay. Any other color you want, or are you happy with the orange? Let's do this. That should be hard. You see this. That. Happy with orange. Awesome. Do you like this orange, or do you want me to change it a bit? Oh yeah, we can do a white all the way here. We have to suggest detail. Don't want to get crazy with it. I like the orange. Thank you very much. No problem. Thank you for coming to the stream once again. Okay, there we go. This is going to be Fishby. Okay, we have orange. We have red. Gonna go a bit towards blue, but it's gonna be a blue that's very greenish. So blue, greenish, dark, something like that. And it's gonna be underneath this. Okay, let me do bluer blue actually. There we go. I'll click, yep. I'm gonna do this. The head like this. And again, we're gonna suggest detail, not go crazy about it. And same idea, like this one's gonna be with his eye there. Cool. I might need to change this white into something else. It's too bright. Yep. I might do it like slightly darker, more saturated, actually. I'm gonna do it all over the thing. Because matching those is, well, actually, no, it's not gonna be the heart. Let's do this one first. Do this, do colorize. Do this, go to yellow. A bit darker. I like that. So 70, 77, -9. And this one, nope. 77, -9. And then we do this towards blue. Cool. And then for the final one, record work to, yep. The final one is going to be red. Absolutely. Here it is to blue and orange are complementary, and red and orange are complementary. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Red is going to be great with this one. I'm going to do the whites first. I like the fact that on this one the white's on the bottom. I'm going to copy that from the image. The fin's not white. That. Then the eye is gonna be like this. There. We do this, and we do I'm missing the red. Yep. Red. Gonna do a bit of a darker, less saturated red. Something like this. Cool. Now we're gonna group all of this. This is gonna be fish. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a darker, greener color. I'm gonna mask them to this. Go stuff around. And add some shadows and look for a blending mode that makes it look kind of good. There was one here. This one, linear burn. Looks kind of cool, but I'm gonna need to lower the intensity of it. Do like this. Yeah. Let me just. This song is kind of cool. I already have it added to my playlist, so yeah. Cool. Now another color for the highlights, which is gonna be basically this, but white. And we're gonna put this on a different. This one works. Let me look at this in values. I still believe the whites are too bright. So I'm gonna change that a bit. That's where I'm gonna take it to be a bit darker. More saturated. Same with this one. Darker. More saturated. Something like that. And I think that works. And I want to add one more element to this whole thing. Which is gonna be... What's it gonna be? Maybe some trees like this actually could work. Like to be on the bottom of the whole thing. Sort of like, oh frick, I need to make them hard. I noticed you're looking at balance, you're reaching chance to look yeah, like you basically don't want anything to be too bright or too dark because it gets too contrasty and too distracting. That's one of the rules I go by. But yeah, I also go by the change stuff until it looks well technique. I think it works pretty well. Let's do that. This. That. By the way, what do you study? You didn't tell me, or I haven't asked. But now I'm curious because you know a lot about art and art terms. But I'm not sure if your career is related to this. That I think works. It's gonna be tree A. What are you asking? What are you studying? Like, what's your career, or if you're still in school or anything? Career, maybe? Like, for some of your comments, I assume you're studying a major or something. But I don't know, you might be still in high school and I wouldn't know. This is not working. This... There. There. Let's do this. Okay, tree V. I think I'm gonna do like 5 trees because they're very simple, and I'm gonna just keep them to be even simpler. Okay, let's do one like this. This one's gonna be wider. These are gonna be all the little twigs and branches. I've got some visual interest here. No, that doesn't work. This works better, I think. There. Yeah, we got some negative space here. And overall some negative space in the whole thing. Negative space is one of the things I want to keep getting better at. I just forget about it. And it has a lot of visual interest. Let's do this, that. I'm not sure if I like it on this tree though. Probably learning is figure out when it works and when it doesn't. I think that works quite well like this. And here and there, we're gonna go. Oh, learn graphic designer like coding. Interesting. That's cool. And haven't you decided on which branch you like more? Like the more technical part or the more artistic sort of part? Like, the one thing I suggest to you is like choose whatever makes you happy, because if you're gonna spend the rest of your life working in that field and you don't like it, you're probably gonna be miserable. So yeah, if there's pressure for coming from somewhere for going for either of those, try considering more what you want to be, because the people that are gonna pressure you or might pressure you probably won't be there and for a big part of your life eventually. That's tree number 4. It's a close draw out, so. And why did you not go for something art related, like more directly? If you don't mind me asking. There. There. Oh, I'm starting to get hungry. What time is it? I've been live for 2 hours and a little bit more. Okay, it wasn't that bad of progress. Honestly, the first half hour was very slow. The rest has been quite productive, I'd say. Okay, now let's see. I wanted to read greens. Okay, makes a ton of sense. I totally get you. Trees, yeah. But yeah, if you ever have questions about art and stuff, you can talk to me here and ask me stuff. If I can help you, I'll gladly do it. And if not, I'll try to direct you to places or people that might help you more than I can. Wow, green and saturation is just weird. I don't think that happens. Well, it does happen with other colors, but particularly with green, I feel like it makes it so much clearer. Adding saturation to a green. Let me see. That's like at the very edge of the green. I like that color. Now let's add some very simple suggestion of volume. Like here, 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 and here. Now for highlights, go the opposite way, go clearer, go warmer. And no, don't go low opacity on that one. Go low opacity later. On the whole layer, like here. Something like that. How do you usually feel about Adobe? Because I can tell you're using Photoshop. I don't pay for Adobe, so a little. I don't think I can get in trouble for saying it, right? But yeah, it's not a good company in my opinion. It has good products, and sadly, for the stuff I've worked on, you're sort of required to either use those programs or something that can do the same things. So throughout my career, I learned to use Adobe products. So I'm used to using Adobe products. And that's part of the reason I'm on Photoshop right now. I've wanted to switch to other programs, but I've just not had the time to learn, to be honest. So yeah, that's the reason I'm using Photoshop right now. Mainly out of habit and pretty much habit, and that's the only reason. Let me make it a bit less saturated, switch to a different hue, and switch to another opacity. I see that in values, I think it should all be darker. Oh, this is improving way. Really? I didn't know that Twitch did that. I probably said a lot of bad stuff that's put me in some like lists of yeah, this is not content we want to share. Like that's a tricky part of social media I found. Like you just can't say anything. I found it on TikTok. TikTok tends to censor a lot more than any other platform I've used. Let's do Dell. Control Dell. And for Adobe, like, I don't like their policies regarding money and stuff. The fact that you have to pay to unsubscribe, it's stupid. The fact that you can't have a perpetual license anymore is, I think, very bad. Like, I hate subscription-based services. Well, programs more than services. For a streaming service, I get it. But for, like, stuff you use for job and stuff, I don't see why you can just let me have the program forever. Like, okay, I can pay a big price once, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna pay. There's programs with which I can do that, but not all of them, and the trend is leaning more and more towards not being able to do that, so yeah. And I'm pretty sure that Adobe started that trend, so yeah, Adobe's not a company I'm very fond of. But as I said, you're sort of expected to use it in some branches of the whole thing. Okay, let's do. That's that. That's this. Okay. Oh, you're sure I was putting my phone like chapstick am. That's why I have an old Illustrator and see with a product key because I didn't connect to video. That's so funny. Yeah, like it's such a bad. I mean, it's a great concept for the company. It's terrible for customers. Like that's why one of the programs I mentioned to you yesterday, Moho, I like that one because I paid $400 for it and I have that version of the product indefinitely. And then if there are big updates, I can just pay a fraction of what the product costs, and I get the update to the new version. So I like that model way more. Okay, let's add some hue variation to this. Here, lower the opacity. Frick. Didn't mean. Oh, frick. I didn't add a new layer. I should add a new layer. There. Do my hue variation here. Do another hue variation here. Do this. Go darker. Go more saturated. Go more towards. Actually, stay there, but lower the opacity. Bring back the highlights. There we go. Well, why do you that? Yeah, it's. Absolutely. And that's a problem. Problems that they tend to force you to buy the new versions. It's like, oh, now you can't access if you don't do this, so you have to do this. Wait, I should lower the contrast here. Match the contrast of the other one. There we go, there we go. Capitalization's weird. Trees A, there we go. Do this. Wait, again, this, that. Switch this to be a bit darker, lighter, more saturated, and a bit redder. This darker, bluer down here. Like that. Lower the opacity a bit. Lower the opacity on this one as well. Add some color variation. Here. Blah, 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 blah. You have tree number 3. There. I need to remember that I plan to upload this to my YouTube videos, so I need to keep them in layers and not combine everything. I forbid whale products are a one-time buyer using free alternatives. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. But as I said, I haven't had time to learn the alternatives. I downloaded Krita. I don't think I've opened it once yet. It was like, oh, there's this free Photoshop alternative. It has some cool tools. I have to check it out. And then I started getting into this series of videos I'm making, and I was like, yeah, I don't have the time to do that right now. So I haven't done it because of that. Keep that. Let's add some color variation towards orange. Blah, 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 blah. And towards green. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. That's tree number 4. Yeah, I do want to explore other programs later. When I have more time to do it. Yeah, definitely. It can't even be something progressive, like I can start delving into those slowly. Do this, do darker, do bluer. Suggest all that. Once again, color variation, orange, blah, 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 blah. And green, blah, 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 blah. These permanent texture brushes. Really? That's cool. I've like lately been trying to limit myself in the amount of brushes I use because it's a bit of a weird rabbit hole when you start depending on like, oh, I wonder what brush this person used to do this very particular stuff. And like it's crazy to think about it, but in theory in digital you can literally make any image with the default like Photoshop brushes or even in um, Paint, Microsoft Paint or something. You theoretically could do it. I don't think anyone would do it, but there's the option and the tools are there to do stuff like that. Okay, we have the trees. Now I need one more thing. 3 brushes max. Yeah, I totally get you. Like I made this brush pack for the backgrounds I did for the thing I showed you about my show, and they were great for that for the backgrounds and stuff. Okay, I want to make one final structure that's gonna be on the foreground. It's gonna be inspired by this thing on the left. Okay. So we're gonna do something that's like here. We're gonna change. I didn't mean to change to that one. I meant to change to this one. Run the brush tool. Oh, cool. I'm just not on top of everything. There we go. Let's make it black. Oh, here's Wilson. I'd forgotten about him. That's so funny. Okay, let's do this towery looking thing. It's gonna be like this. I love the native space on this thing. So we're gonna do it like this. I think maybe I should do it in a bit of a different perspective. Like, yeah, that works better. Stay up till here. Up till here. Up till here. Here it's gonna have like this pointy structure. There we go. And it's gonna be like this, like that, like that, like that, like this, like that. By the way, do you hear music on Twitch? Like on my stream right now? Because I configured some stuff differently and I'm not sure if it's going into the stream or not. It theoretically... I don't know if it does. I changed so much stuff, I'm not sure if it does anymore. This one goes there. There and there. Okay, cool. Now... here, we need this. Here. That. We're going to add one more layer to the back of the thing. It's going to be that color. It's going to help sell the illusion of depth. there, this, that. I'm missing the back part on this one. And on top of that, we're gonna have the fires. That is my kind of low. Welcome back. I was asking you if you heard music. I'm not sure if the music's going through to the stream or not. Because since I'm restreaming, I had to change stuff on my configuration, so I don't know if that's changed stuff there. Sadly, no. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Because I don't really know how the restreaming thing works. Like for people on YouTube, I'm not gonna be able to put music, but for people on Twitch, I should be able to. I just need to figure out the settings. There we go. Here. Okay. This one's the front. Cool. So let's do a very pale desaturated green for the base color. Okay, that shows some imperfections I need to fix. Which is great. Hopefully none of the other drawings has imperfections like this. I know nobody's not gonna notice them, but I will, and that's gonna make me furious. Okay, let's do this. It's gonna be way darker, way bluer. Very contrasty. And it's gonna be like on this half, on this half, 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 this bigger half, this half, and I'll throw here. Throw that. Throw this. So like giving that sensation of shape here. Oh, I could keep us a concert sing live. I'm not that good of a singer, but I can consider it something. What's the thing called again? What are you drawing right now? I have no idea, but it's the thing it's on the right here. I just looked for Japanese decoration outdoors and that popped out. Like here on the, wait, here, there, on that corner. You can see the reference I'm using. That's what I'm drawing. Yeah, but I don't know how it's called. I just looked Japanese decoration outdoors and some cool stuff appeared. Including this thing. Just do darker, more saturated, way darker. Not that dark. The saturation's weird. Let's do that. Okay, cool. And then since that is there, this one here should be the same dark color. Frick, that's not it. Even darker, I think. And on this one, I think if I'm doing it like this, this side should also have that other color. That works. Now let's do some slight transitions around here. And texture, sort of detail. I don't freaking know what I'm doing, but let's just try this. It's gonna look kind of cool. Yeah, that. Now we want another color that's gonna be brighter yellower. It's gonna be my highlights. Person type of pagoda stone garment. Yeah, probably, yeah. I can later look up what it's called if it appears. But I can promise it will. There, 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 and there. And now the fun part is gonna be adding texture to this whole thing. Actually, on the dark bits, I should do some... Like, there are gonna be some shadows here, in theory. On this part. Those are gonna be sort of contact shadows of these things. So the texture is gonna sort of appear as shadows. Give this illusion of shape. Yeah, and now the texture on top of this, with the same brush I was using before. Lower the opacity of it. Control U, we're gonna make it darker. Gotta lower the opacity of it. Cool. Now this one's I want to have a blending mode so that it shows the texture underneath. That one I think. And this orange bit I think should be darker, more saturated, and more yellow. For it to look like it's lights, but they're turned off right now. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe make this more contrasty to fit the rest of the thingies. Something like that. And the dark color, even darker, more saturated, even darker. Problem is it's blending with the background. So that color works kind of well. Color's tricky. Yeah, I'll probably figure it out in After Effects. Yeah, these are pretty much... Maybe a Toro. Interesting. Never heard that word before. To me, a Toro is a bull. Let me do multiply here. Lower the opacity a bit. Okay, what if I do... I need to change the colors of the mountains, but I'm gonna get to that later. Okay. This is gonna be the project file I'm gonna upload. Frick, didn't mean to do that. What the frick did I do? How did this happen? I did this. Okay, cool. What am I pressing? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons, dude. There we go. Control save. Okay, I meant to save it as copy. Week 1 underscore bg underscore import. I think Photoshop's tired, probably. Okay. That's cloud 1, that's cloud 2, that's cloud 3. What is this? No pixels are selected. Okay, cool. Oh, let's just add it there and do this. Actually, do this. I think these all are one shape. Cool. We're gonna call it Tor because he said that's I don't name my files. I did name my files. It's wig1 underscore bg, which is background underscore imp, which is import. The files, yes. The layers are a totally different thing. If you meant the layers, I don't name my layers. I don't name all my layers. I named important ones. Let me just hide this. And groups I do name. Let me see. This is the poll. This whole thing is like kites. I name stuff for when I'm importing into another program. Arch, that's Control E. Mountain B. What is this? Does this have anything? It doesn't have anything. Mountain B is gonna be one's own thing, other thing. Wait, what? I missed that. What happened? I was a backup of the mountain? What the freak's going on here? I'm gonna assume it's a backup. This is my planning. This is my sky. For the sky, I do want to do some variation towards a warmer, more saturated color towards the end, the middle. Sort of like that. I think that. I know, but you don't name your files like gibberish when saving them like. Oh. I meant. I understand now what you meant. I thought that was like you having a seizure about me not naming my files. It depends. Like, I name the files. I need to find that. Like, if we look at my desktop. Well, it's cleaned up right now. But yeah, I do name my files. I know I'm not going to use much. The way you say it, like, basically random gibberish. And the fun thing about that is sometimes I did that and I got a duplicate. That was crazy. That was a crazy fit to me. Let's do sky here. Let's go back to this and do something here. Okay. Let's do this rough tail. This one's a bit of a long stream already, but yep, this program has notes. It allows you to do some crazy stuff. Right now, I'm just gonna use them to render a little sequence of this guy. Color enough. It's gonna be like 2 of this. Close. It's gonna be frame 1, 2 frame 38. To like, where is this? After Effects. Quite a lot for your hobbies. Yeah, you've surprised me with how much stuff you know. Not gonna lie. Okay, let me now bring this new project. Frick. This, and let's import everything. Work. Ermine year, week 3, week 1 project. Import this here. It's gonna be editable layer, composition, retain layer sizes, okay. There we go. And there should be a 1 long composition, cool. And now I'm also gonna import this image sequence. Let's do Control I. Switch this to this. It's a PNG sequence. We import it. We're gonna do a new scene. It's gonna be 1920 by 1080. 24 frames per second. It's gonna be main. We're gonna add the loop here. We're gonna add. How do I the background here? I just copy it and paste it, right? Yeah, copy and paste. Later, gonna replace it with the actual final dragon. Wait, I'm missing a layer here. I'm missing the most important layer. I don't know where it is. The volume layer. Actually, I think I can get rid of this and it's gonna look even better. Let me look at it. Yeah, okay, do it like that. Pause it. Do this. Yeah, After Effects is weird. Might be because of your computer. Like, it does require a lot of resources to run smoothly. Let me do this. Fill. It's gonna be a pink dragon for now. Let's do him white, actually, for him to be visible. Where's this thing? Kites are gonna be on top. Sky's gonna be behind. Mountains are gonna be moving. The clouds are gonna be underneath. This thing's gonna be above. The arch is gonna be above. Okay. Now, to move the mountain, I basically need to move it from where it is to native 90, 1920, right? I have to move from there to there. And I have to do the same with this one. From there to there. Wait, which one is this? Oh, I didn't move native 1920. Yeah, and this one's gonna be slower. I don't know how I'm gonna loop this with parallax, not gonna lie. It's gonna be something I have to do later. Oh, you have a gaming laptop? Yeah, probably the program's fault in that case. Let's do this pre-compose into loop. And under here, we're gonna change the duration of this. Actually, wait, I didn't check something for making the loop. Control C, remove all attributes, it's gonna be called loop. Like, there's ways of doing this automatically, but I found it to look very dumb, to be honest. Sometimes it just breaks for no reason. So I do this, like, brute force my way through this. So I do this, do that, effect. Animation, keyframe assistant, sequence layers, okay. That way I have my dragon like this. And we're gonna end this thing here for the playback. Okay, let's do the arch. Arch is gonna be like here. Actually, arch is gonna be like here. It's gonna be like moving out of the way around here. It's gonna be like, whee. Cool. The Toro thingy. It's gonna move here. I should probably just do this for now. Wait, didn't mean to do that. Meant to do this. And we're gonna do this. Move it more to the left. This is just a proof of concept. I still have to do more stuff with this. Should maybe just bury this as well. Have them be like down here. Have this one be down there as well. And then the trees be on their own layer. This one's gonna be the ones that are gonna be moving. Since it's gonna start here, I'm just gonna move this way. Looping this is gonna be hard. Thank you. Moving this should move way slower than that. Like this. And then from that, what I do is just move the trees around. Oh, frick, didn't mean to move that. That was tree like this. This one's gonna be here. This one's gonna be here. Trees do this. This one's gonna be here, and we're gonna parent them to the same one. And the cloud should be between both mountains. Like around here. Cloud. I moved all of them. Yep. I'll just put them up there for now. I just want to have something I can upload to my Instagram stories. Where's the other cloud? This there, this there, or something. I don't know for now. It's looking cool. Isn't there a way to support it as a loop? I'm not sure if I'm being honest. The problem is like for making a loop, the first frame and the final frame need to look exactly the same, which basically means you have to play with numbers in math, especially when doing a parallax like I'm trying to do. So I might need to find a different way to loop it. We're gonna figure it out eventually. And by eventually, I mean probably between tomorrow and Friday. Because the idea is for this to be uploaded on Friday, so yep. Today's stream was already longer than it should have been. Let me just save this under, where's this, 1 year, week 3, week 1 project. It's gonna be week 1 _ post. Okay, now let's enlarge this a bit. I feel like a cloud should be moving as well. Very slowly, but they should be moving. Making this loop is going to be a tricky thing. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. And this cloud A, we're going to position here. Move a little bit here. And around here, I'm going to make this other cloud be a son of this thing. Yeah, now the clouds are moving. Cool. Once again, let me just enlarge this. Ah, frick. Frick. I can click. I've never done much. Frick, I'm not even in the right composition right now. This one. Cool. Pretty sure there's a hotkey for making this big, but I don't know what it is. Ah, that looks cool. Nice. Cinematic masterpiece. I didn't even read that correctly. Cinematic masterpiece already. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. There's still stuff I need to fix. I don't know if I'm gonna loop it. Like, the thing is, if I make it into a loop, it's probably gonna be a long loop. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be a loop. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Like, the things maybe, like, the front will have to loop 3 times, when the midground loops twice, when the midground loops once, so it's just 3 loops of the foreground. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. It's just already late. I'm hungry. I've already been live for 3 hours. I need to edit this after that. So, yeah, this is the progress for today. I'm gonna leave it playing for you here. It's looking cool. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And yeah, thank you once again, Safik, for joining the stream. I really appreciate the company. We're going to be finishing this. I have to clean up the animation between tomorrow and Friday, which is going to be tricky. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do it. It's looking cool already. I love how this is looking. I still want to add some extra parallax between the things that are in the different layers. But yeah, that's coming tomorrow. I'm really happy once again. Yeah. See you tomorrow. To anyone who might join tomorrow, and anyone that's watching this uploaded on YouTube, thanks for watching. And yep, see you everyone.